Hey, what's up guys? I'm Justin with CBI and Prinsu. Today we got an FJ Cruiser behind us. We're going to show you how to put a roof rack on it. Stay tuned for the install. All right, so first step, we just got everything unpacked. We're gonna start getting our hardware prepped, start our assembly process down here on the floor before we go to the car. So let's get our hardware unpacked here, and we'll get washers on our T30 Torx bolts and some Loctite. Those are the bolts that are gonna be securing the crossbars to the side rails. So we'll get all that unpacked right now. All right, so we got everything prepped. Now our next step is we're gonna start assembling the crossbars to the side rails using our prepped T30 Torx bolts. So we're gonna assemble them on the smaller slots along the side rail here, and we need to make sure we put the extrusions facing up. These are 1/4 inch hardware into aluminum, so we wanna start them by hand and not over tighten them or cross thread them. I'm using a impact here, but it's turned down to its lowest setting so we don't risk over tightening or breaking any of the bolts. So we'll go ahead and get them started by hand and then come and tighten them down. All right, so our next step is we're gonna come to the vehicle and remove the factory roof rack. It's held into place by T40 Torx bolts. There's 6 locations. There's 2 bolts in each location. So we'll go ahead and remove those now to get the roof rack off. All right, now we're gonna get our bolt-on brackets loosely installed on the rear of the vehicle. So these go on each side, and you wanna have the wider part facing downward to the roof of the vehicle, and it's just gonna install in this long slot right here. So again, we're just gonna get this hand tight for right now until we get our height and our spacers landed, then we'll come back and tighten it. So just get this hand tight with 2 bolts for right now. All right, so now we're gonna get everything installed and silicone. So this is black RTV silicone. That's what we're using on here. This is the automotive blend. They sell it in smaller tubes, but because we use it so much, we get the bigger tube. We're just gonna put a really big blob around the hole, and then we're gonna kind of smash that spacer down and then thread the bolt in. So, and when we do that big blob, what we're doing is we're sealing the inside of the hole as well as all the way around the spacer. So you definitely don't wanna go light on this step because obviously we wanna keep water out of the vehicle. So don't be afraid to go pretty heavy on this and just get everything hand tight, and then we'll get alignment checked out, then we'll tighten it down fully. All right, so the rack's in place, sealed, and the bolts are hand tight. What we're gonna do now is move to the back, and we're gonna tighten up our bracket in the up and down axis. So if you lift up on the rack and watch the front foot, as soon as the front foot touches the spacers, that's gonna be our position that we wanna tighten these two bolts down in. So we're gonna take our T30 Torx bit and a 7/16 wrench and tighten these two bolts up. Okay, now we're gonna take a little break from the vehicle, come back down and get the wind deflector assembled down here on the ground. So we have our T-nuts and our Phillips head screws. We're just gonna slide the T-nuts into this channel with the threaded part facing down, and then we'll get our noise reducing trim, get everything lined up hand tight, then come back and tighten it all down. All right, so we got our wind deflector in place. We can kind of use that as a guide to stand back from the vehicle and kind of shift it side to side, make sure that everything's nice and straight on the vehicle. So we confirmed our alignment's good. Now we're gonna start making our way around, tightening down our main mounting bolts. They're a 13mm socket. I would not use power tools on this section, just go easy. You don't wanna strip these out and go by feel. You don't wanna over tighten them either. So we're just gonna make our way going around, getting these nice and tight. All right, hey guys, thanks for watching. That sums up our install tutorial, the FJ Cruiser Prinsu roof rack. Thanks for watching. As always, like, subscribe, leave us a comment below for more details. Thanks.